Hey folks, this is just a quick little video. Concerns about decal files, specifically in this case, livery decal files. A lot of people have problems finding them. What I'm using right now is the X-Cub. A lot of their liveries use the same design. So what I've done is I've loaded the model file into Blender, and it's straight. I haven't done away with anything. It's just the way that will come into Blender. And right away I can see here there's a design on the side of the aircraft. If I click on that, it highlights that whole area. So my goal right now is to locate where that's at. What file am I dealing with? How can I get rid of that? Okay, so I'm going to go to Texture Paint, and you see it's highlighted in pink here, which means there's no, it's showing the files associated, but there's no actual texture file. If I expand this over here, it shows the UVs of what all the parts that texture involves on that particular decal file. So what I'll go is over here to the right hand side down here where it says no textures, there's a plus mark. I'm going to click on that plus mark and add a base color. I'm going to go down here, and I've already gone and checked. This file is already 2048 by 2048, so that's what I'm going to set it, 2048. Let's see, click on that, double click, and 2048 again. There's faster ways to do this. I'm just lazy, I guess. I go all the way to pure white, and I'll go OK. Now you see this area right here has turned into a white. So if I pull this up here, you'll see that all of the area that decal is encompassed is in white. And I could actually paint on that, change colors. If I, let's say, go to green brush, and I could paint on there, only the decal is being affected, and you see it show up over here. I don't care about that. I want to get rid of that decal. That's my objective, and I've met what I needed, so I can close out of Blender. I don't need that anymore, but let me just reduce it for now. If I open up that file in Photoshop, and let's see, let me get the right one here. Okay, this happens to be the X-Cub, the Cub Crafters. And you'll notice down here it says Cub Crafters Cub Airframe Livery Decal. Some of them will say livery decal, some of them will say something else. It takes a little bit to look around for them, but that's what this is right here. And if I want to determine what size this is, I can go up here to image and look at my image size. It shows it's 2048 by 2048 at the resolution of 72. So if I wanted to make a duplicate of this or mess with it, I could do that. Or if I wanted to do a decal that's a little bit more detailed, let's say that I wanted to put some kind of design in there that had a lot of detail to it, then I might take this up to 4096, just double the size of it. I don't need to change anything there. To get rid of this, I would simply go up here and I would add a layer, new layer. Okay, and you see these checkerboards, which means it is a transparent layer. Now I could just simply delete this. Yes, I have all transparent. There's nothing there. It's not going to show up, no decals at all. And then I would go up here, and the important thing to make sure of is when you go to File, do a Save As, and then make sure that you're on whatever it is that you're using. If you're using Paint.net, it's called something different. But anyways, I'm going to save. It's going to tell me the Cub Crafters airframe decals, so forth. Yes. And the important part is it brings this little info thing up here. If you'll notice right up at the top here, it says color plus alpha. If I go to just color, it now says color, but I've changed the file structure down here, which it's not going to recognize that. I would go back up here and go alpha. It's a BC7. 8 BPP fast linear DX11. It may show up differently in painter.net, or if you're using another program, it might show up differently. Anyways, this right now, if I saved this, this would affect every single livery that is contained in the Xcub files. So you don't want to do this in there. You want to take that file out and put it into your livery. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and let's go back and look at that real quick. If you'll notice, it says Fuselage Livery. Right below it is another file. That is a JSON file, and it gives it gives Microsoft information on how this stuff is placed. So it's important that you transfer both of these two files to your livery, whatever you're constructing, and then you can do that modification to it and save it out, and then make sure that you rerun this right here, this little blue guy. This is a JSON layout generator. If you're not familiar with doing liveries and you're new to this, you need this in your Livery folder, and every time that you add or remove a file or you change the name of a file in that Livery folder, you've got to rerun this JSON. Let's see, do I have something I can quickly go to? Community folder, liveries. Let's go down to, let's just say the Astro one here. That's the quickest. You see here, it's placed down here at the bottom. All I need to do is take this layout JSON. If I've changed anything in this folder, if you go down through and you go into your textures, let's say that I added an additional set of folders in here. I would go back out and go to this layout JSON, grab it and drag it down on top of the layout generator. It's going to do its thing. You're all done. You're set to go. Then it's in. Now you can go in and modify that file any way you want, and it's only going to affect your livery, nothing else. What I just showed you as far as the file in let's see, Control Z, go back. As far as this being the way the Xcub happens to be set up, different aircraft are set up differently. This happens to be the Mall. It's a third-party aircraft, and all you see here is just this black. There is nothing else. You may encounter some that has, let me see, I'll go back to a rectangle. Let's just do edit and fill. Okay. And there might be another one down here that is, let's see, I don't want to do that. I want to grab that and let's go up to here. Let's switch this, edit and fill. Okay. You might find a file that's set up, a livery file that looks just like this. There's 4 squares, and 2 of them might be a different color, or all 4 of them might be different colors. That is the livery file, and that JSON file knows that the different colors go to different things, and you might open that up and say, what the heck is this? Well, that is the texture file that is controlling all of those liveries throughout the entire package from that particular third party, or from Asobo or Microsoft or whatever it's coming from. So these are the things that you're looking for. If you can't find, you got something that is showing up and you can't find it, that is probably the culprit. Let's see, we looked at the Cub Crafters, the Xcub, and that's how they name it here. If I go over to the Mall, let's see, where the heck is it here? Decal. They just call it this AS87 Decal albedo file. So that's what's controlling it. There are some others that use a different, other than English, that have different things named differently wherever their language is for decal when they set it up. Their flight simulator and packages and all that is set up to use their language. So you may have to look around and find the oddball stuff, but usually these will be in the primary package. And since your livery initially has fallbacks going back to this texture base file, and if I go back in here, you'll see there's texture base, different ones here. And this happens to be the mall. Usually revert or call back to this texture base, or in this case, there's a separate one for black and beige, so it may fall back to either one of these three or four here. Yeah, there's actually four of them. So that's what you have to look at to find those decals. Sometimes it can be a real pain. I've also run into a situation. Let me see if I can find one here. Let's go down to I probably won't be able to find it since I'm looking for it and I'm recording. Let's see what this guy brings up. This is just a decal. Okay. This could be a good example right here. You see all these color squares down here at the bottom? Those go somewhere to something. And maybe you're looking to change something inside your cockpit and you can't find it. Well, one of these squares here deals with it. That could be screws. It could be rivets. It could be textures for seats or coverings, generic, that doesn't have a specific files. But this is what you got to go around and look for. Sometimes it can be a real pain. The other thing, I'm just going to close out of this. I don't want to make any changes to this. I don't want to change anything here. Just close out of this. I think to get the general picture or idea. Another thing that people run into is the livery shows up, and they are not the livery. Darn it, the registration numbers show up, and they don't want the registration numbers. Well, the workaround for that is this panel file right here. It has panel CFG and a panel XML. And if you open this up, and I come down here, and I'm looking for something that says exterior. You're going to show it? You're probably not going to show it since I'm looking for it. Screens, GTN. Wouldn't you know it, I'd go to something that's not going to show me what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find the exterior instruments. Sometimes you got to read through all this stuff. And I'm not going to be able to find it. It figures. Why? Gauge generic, gauge radios. It's hiding from me. Screen instruments. Transponder. I'm not seeing it in this. This is weird. Let me go to something different. How about we look at the X? I'm going to look in here. Panel, CFG. Here we go. Alright, so you got an interior and an exterior here. These others deal with gauges and stuff. These two here are the most of interest. This interior, and it says registration number. This covers the registration number that shows up on your instrument panel. If you don't want one to show up on your instrument panel, or on the exterior of your aircraft, then these last two sets, there's four numbers here. Those last two sets of numbers, you want to change those to 00. So you'd simply highlight that, put a 0 in there, highlight that, put a 0 in there. Now, this is in the main package, so this is going to affect the entire package. So what you need to do is you need to go in and take the panel CFG file, or just take the folder, make a copy of it, put it in your livery, and get rid of the XML file. Some aircraft I have found it won't work unless you have this panel XML file in there also. The problem with that is every time that the developer updates their aircraft, they may update this panel configuration or XML file, and you're not going to know it, and you're going to be working with the old thing, and you're going to go, well, why isn't this transponder not working, or why is this thing not lighting up or something? That's usually the cause, is because of this panel XML file. So the best thing, if you can, leave it out of the picture. I'm going to close out of all this stuff. I think you get the general idea. Don't save. Alright, and let me go to, one more time here, I will go down to community add-ons. Let's go aircraft liveries, and I'll give you an example. I'm going to go down here to got friends. How about the, let's just do the double enders. No, I'll go to gravel. Let's go to one of mine. Sim objects, airplanes. I'll do, let's go to the Black Ops. Okay, you see I have a panel file here on the Black Ops, and this, for some reason, it has to have that panel XML file in there. But if I open this up and take a look, and I might, it's been a while since I updated this file, I might have to get rid of this or update this. I haven't flown this aircraft in a while. He just did an update to it. But again, you see on the exterior, I have it zeroed out so that I don't get any registration number. Some of these things you just simply have to get in and play with and see what works and what doesn't work. And when you stumble across something that works right, again, you have to set up this extra folder. And when you do that, you've got to go in here to the aircraft CFG and set up a panel folder, so that it knows there's a panel folder in there, and then you got to go run your layout generator and such. Let's see. The double ender. Let's go to desert camo. I know that the way they have their this, if you want to. If you haven't already gotten one of Got Friends aircraft, you should, because everything, even the paint kits are just wonderfully laid out and easy to use. But if you go to the aircraft CFG, they pretty much show everything that the way it should be, and they have a deal here for panel. If you wanted to add and make changes to the panel, you would just add it in here. And then add a panel file here, and go from there and experiment with it. But it's pretty. This is probably about the simplest layout you can get. But anyway, I hope this helps you a little bit and gives you an idea where to look for stuff. The important thing, really important thing, is when you do move those files over. Make sure you get both of those files. Sometimes there's more. There might be an EMS associated with it, which has to do with lighting effect. You have to look at it. If there's more than just the two that have that same name, then you might have to move the whole set over. I wouldn't worry about moving the normals over if there's a normal, unless you're actually going to go in and change the normal, and that really gets technical when you're doing that stuff, so just be careful with that. There is a setup. Let's see. Let me go here. Transfers. I think I have it in my dump folder. Nope. No, not there. I have interiors. Stuff. That's all paint kit. You're getting tired of me sitting here rambling along trying to find stuff. There is a file, a set of files out. Is this aircraft painting? Paint kit, composite, optimization, paint. No, these are those are films. You don't want to see a film. I never can find it when I'm looking for it right off the bat. I'm bad at that. Sorry about that. Here, let's see. I have it under my utilities. I stored it somewhere so I could quickly find it, and guess what? I can't quickly find it. Yeah, that's the converter. Nope, I ain't gonna be able to find it right away. Cause dummy put it somewhere where I can't find it so quickly. Don't, nope, ain't there. Anyways, let's see, desktop documents, study shortcut, building. No, I took it clean off the desktop. This is where it should be. Metalness, normal maps. Oh, that's sites, manual. And that's not going to tell me. Nope. I put it somewhere that I'm not going to be able to find it now. No, that ain't it either. Okay, when you save, there's a that we showed you on the decals. It was a DCS7. I ain't got the greatest memory here. There's 3 different settings. One for saving the albedo files, the texture files. One, and those are DDS types. I'm not prepared in that case because I wasn't going to cover that. But they're on the internet. They're in various places. They tell you what formats to save. If you don't save them in the right formats, they won't work. So look into that. If you're having troubles with your files and you can't get them to work, take a look at those. Anyways, that should about do it for you. I hope this helps. Adios, amigos. You're tired of me rambling on, so we'll see, and I hope you manage to get things working.